Transforming your life through hypnotherapy has never been easier. With the help of your host, Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and these power-packed minisodes, you're sure to find yourself engaging in more positive behaviors around both your physical and mental health. Here's your host, Julie.
G'day, it's Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and you deserve to know the one bold paranoid hypnosis shift for 2022, because people are tired of being upstanding pillars of the community, a voice of reason, functioning society members with a paranoid Jedi mind, and thinking, why is that person looking at me? Is that person a spy? Am I being followed? All at the same time. And I'm not a therapist or psychotherapist, but this is my 9th year as a clinical hypnotherapist in strategic psychotherapy, and you deserve to know the truth about what hypnosis can achieve with paranoia. And I don't know if you thought that the COVID-19 policies would have us turn into robots, or David Icke was right, the Queen was a lizard, or the guy wearing a pirate hat was in QAnon, or something else. But paranoia can be very complicated. But imagine feeling calm, relaxed, and have the confidence to go about your day. Because I can only imagine someone like you deserves to live the life you want to live. And the good news is, what people love about hypnosis is they get to leave the world's baloney out there to reconnect with your peaceful self here. But the truth is, if you are experiencing paranoia, I strongly recommend you seek professional advice from your doctor before you start to seek out a hypnotherapist, because paranoia is very complicated and different for everyone. And the fact is, a lot can go wrong. So this might not be the right next move for you, but I trust you'll do the right thing and what's best for you. And I don't know if you've read Richard Bandler and John Grindler's book, Reframing, Neuro-Linguistic Programming and the Transformation of Meaning, but in the business world, there's a fair amount of paranoia whenever you deal with anything that business people think gives them a competitive advantage. If you compare that to hypnosis, there are no trade secrets. Everyone wants to help everyone. We encourage people to use the techniques if they work. We don't sue them or start a lawsuit if they use the same technique to help someone. But businesses spend a lot of money developing new techniques. And when successful, they try and hold to them as long as they can. And often a lot of effort goes into standardizing human beings to make them dependable. You and I both know you wouldn't want assembly line workers always trying to figure out new ways of doing their jobs or do it blindfolded for variety. You want them to have limited choices to make it easier for the worker and increase productivity and raise the standards of production. But sometimes it depends how you're looking at it. For example, a CEO can get paranoid at tax time. A CEO can also laugh about tax time and be in tears at the thought it's tax time. And it reminds me of a story from George Burns' book, 101 Healing Stories. Once upon a time, there was an island where all the human attributes lived. Long before attributes were pigeonholed to be good or bad, they just existed. And on the island lived optimism, pessimism, knowledge, prosperity, vanity, and compassion. And one day it was announced that the island was sinking. Panic erupted when all the attributes heard the news. And then as time passed, all the attributes began to settle down, and they planned their escape. Most of the attributes living on the island possessed boats, but Compassion was not prepared. She had no boat of her own. She had lent it or given it to someone else years ago. She delayed her departure until the last possible moment so she could help others get ready. Finally, Compassion decided to ask for help. Prosperity was casting off from the pier in front of his mansion, and you could see his boat was grand and equipped with all the latest technology. Travelling with him would certainly be comfortable. Compassion asked Prosperity if she could travel with him. No way. The boat is full. I spent days packing all of my gold and silver. There's barely any room for my antique furniture or art collection. There's no space for you here. Compassion decided to ask Vanity, sorry, I can't help you. Have you seen yourself? You're wet and dirty. Imagine the mess you'll make on my clean boat. Compassion saw Pessimism struggling to push the boat out into the water. She put her hands on the boat and helped push it as he pulled. He complained the boat was too heavy and the sand was too soft. The water was too cold and it was a miserable day. And why hadn't they given him enough warning? The island shouldn't be sinking. Why did everything always happen to him? Pessimism complained. You're too good to sail with me, Compassion. Your selfless, caring ways make me feel more guilty and miserable. Imagine if you drowned. How do you think I would feel? I can't take you with me. Optimism was one of the last boats to cast off. She didn't believe in all the doom and gloom stuff about the island sinking. Someone would have fixed the island before it sunk. Compassion called out to optimism, but she was too busy looking at the map, thinking of the next destination. Just when Compassion was beginning to despair, she heard a voice say, "I'll take you, Compassion." Compassion was so tired she curled up into a ball on the boat and slept all the way to shore. When she reached dry land, she realised she forgot to ask the name of the person who helped her. It turns out it was time, because only time is capable of understanding how great compassion is. And it reminds me of the movie Star Wars, when Luke Skywalker tried to raise a spaceship out of a swamp, and Yoda showed him how to do it by only using the power of his mind. The spaceship levitated out of the swamp, and Luke Skywalker said, "I don't believe it." And Yoda replied, "That is why you can't." And here is the one bold paranoid hypnosis shift for 2022. Imagine if you were chewing pink bubble gum and blow a bubble of gum. Let it pop and blow another pink bubble. Notice the colour. Perfect. This time the bubble will float out in front of you, ready, blowing a bubble of rose-tinted gum. And as you look into the bubble, you notice you're slowing down. Your thoughts are slowing down. And you can now see a tiny version of yourself in the rose-tinted bubble. Notice that tiny version of you is breathing. And while the breathing's slower and somewhat shallow, mildly restless, you can observe the discomfort. Now ask the tiny version of you to take a deep breath in, hold it, and let it go. Perfect. And you can just be. Now, I don't know if you can feel a sense of power, well-being, or something else, but the fact is, by giving focus to your breath, clearing your thoughts, which you can easily do, you can control how you feel by taking a deep breath in and let it go. And as you continue this interesting bubblegum journey, I wonder if you see yourself as the fully capable person you are. You can just be you. As a wise man Shakespeare once said, "To be or not to be, that is the question." Or maybe it was the Beatle, "Let it be, because the force is with you always." So what if you thought about paranoia hypnosis differently? But what if you didn't? The choice is yours.